So I am super cozy on my sofa, and I just kind of want to do like an update on like how I'm going to proceed, what my angle is basically in terms of buying a property with bad credit. I'm not embarrassed to say that I have bad credit, because I know that there's a lot of people in my situation. I'm not the only one, and like, let's just be honest, like, it happens, and some people are fortunate enough to have good credit. Some people like me make mistakes, and then they have to rectify those mistakes. But yeah, I just wanted to like break down exactly like how I'm gonna do it. So yeah, I think my first angle is, and the best angle to go at, is to make sure that you're getting a property for the lowest price possible. So someone like me, because my credit isn't great, like, I've spoken to mortgage brokers, generally I'm going to be looking at getting a mortgage for like 7%, a rate of 7%, where most people will get it like between like 2%, maybe like 4%, 5% max. I'm literally going in there 7%, so kind of almost double what some people would get. But that's not going to stop me. That just means I have to be more creative about the way that I'm going to make money from this property. So whereas with most properties, you know, most people do single let, I've got to go down the HMO route. I have to do a HMO on this property because I need to make sure that I'm not one paycheck away from being repossessed. Literally, like, maybe for something like 50 grand for argument's sake, my monthly repayments would be like 195, and if the house is 50 grand, the rent on it would probably be like 300, so I'd only make £100, and that's if they pay the rent. Given what's going on in the situation that's going on right now, the most stable way to make sure that I don't have to put any money into this property or any money into my house or my investment is to do a HMO and rent it out on a room by room basis, because where I'm looking, a property for rental price for the whole house would be 300, but similarly a room would also rent for 300. So that is 100% going to be my go-to, you know, making sure that I'm at least bringing in like £1,000. So even if my rent is, my mortgage payment is £200, I'm still having £800 left. And the only way that I wouldn't be able to pay my mortgage is if literally 3 people didn't pay their rent for their room, and I hopefully won't be in that situation. So that's like number one. My strategy that I'm going to have to use because of the fact that I have bad credit is 100% going to have to be a HMO. So that's my first step. My second step is, of course, like, where am I going to get a property? Like, where? So because I don't want to spend too much money, and obviously my rate is quite high, I'm looking like up north. I'm looking up north because you can literally get houses for 50,000 or lower. So I think until I get that home ownership status, it will be quite difficult. So if I can get my first one quite cheap, I can then start to increase the amount that I can borrow, as mortgage advisors would be like, hey, well, you know, her credit might be bad, but if she doesn't pay this back, I can take one of her houses, or I can take her house. So it's best for me to start small and then work my way up, because as soon as I'm a homeowner, my credit score is going to jump up a bit more, and I'll have a bit more credibility in terms of them lending to me because I'm already a homeowner. So that's my second strategy. So where I'm looking up north. So not a strategy, but what am I doing? So first, my strategy is HMO. Second, I'm looking up north where I can get a house for 50,000 or less. If I have to go above, I will, but 50,000 or less would be ideal. And I'm mainly looking for a house that I can buy, refurb, refinance. How am I going to do that? That leads on to the third thing that I'm going to be focusing on, which is trying to grab a bargain. And in order to be able to grab a bargain, I need to find a motivated seller, and a house has been on the market for a very long time. A lot of people will say, do you know what, to grab a bargain, you've got to look at the most recent. I want the house that's been on the market for 2 years and never sold. That's the kind of house that I'm looking at. So where I'm going to do that is going from oldest to newest. And literally just calling these estate agents, is this house on the market? Yeah. Why is it still on the market? Is there much interest? Of course there isn't if it's been on the market for over a year. And then I can go in with a cheeky low offer and get my offer accepted. So that's the angle that I'm going at, is literally just to go from the oldest property to the newest. And I want the oldest one. If it's been on the market for 3 years, perfect, my kind of property. So then I can go with a cheeky offer. So that's my angle. First, HMO. 2, looking up north where it's quite cheap. 3, going for the oldest property, the one that's been on for 5 years. That's the one that I want. And that's basically just my update so far. I'll literally be doing updates like on absolutely everything. The only thing I won't be updating you guys on is when I actually get offer accepted, because people do red eye, and I don't want a red eye person coming and messing up my sale. So yeah, that's the only thing that I will keep quite quiet. If I do have an offer in on a property, and if the offer is accepted, you'd probably only hear about it when I've completed. No red eye person coming and messing it up, because unfortunately there are people that do want me to fail, and that's just the way that life is. Some want you to do well, some want you to do bad. So yeah, this is my first little update. If you're in the same situation as me and you want to buy a property, absolutely take some tips from me and go forward with it. Another thing I got to add, so I've got to put in 30%, and then they'll do 70%, which isn't too bad. So yeah, that's my strategy. That's my first little update. Sorry it's not like fully structured, because it's just little casual little update video to tell you guys how I'm going to progress and move forward. And as I said, like, send this to someone you know who is in the same situation as me and wants to buy a property, and hopefully like my tips and my little experience and the things that I'm sharing can help you guys as well. So yeah, I hope you guys have a good evening. Obviously I'll keep updating you guys when I'm viewing, etc. Bye.